Hello everyone, I want to thank you for purchasing a Generation 2 Stomper. We're going to go over a couple little details here on getting it assembled. To start off with, we've got some fork parts here. We've got a dust cover, some bearings, the notch washer, adjustable cone, and lock nut. So what we're going to do is you're going to grab your fork, you're going to grab your dust cover. You put that down on the crown of your fork. You're going to grab your bearing. You're going to put your bearing down so the ball bearings are facing up. And then we're going to bring the fork over to the bike. Put your fork up through the steer tube. Up. And if you have some grease, go ahead and grease your cones here. So you're going to put the bearing facing down, so the ball bearings are facing down towards the cone. Get this started right here. And we got a cool little trick here. You can just, once you get it started, you can actually spin it on up. Get a little bit snug there. You're going to go ahead and put your washer on there and then your locking nut. Once you have your head set together, we're going to go ahead and tighten it. Now if you don't have these tools here, you can just run down to your local bike shop. They'll probably just tighten this for free. It takes just a second here. We're going to hold the one bolt down and just do a little cinch on the top here and just give your fork a little spin. Make sure everything's good. So that's going to be the assembly of your fork. We've also included a set of bike spikes. If you have a 3-speed, you're only going to get them for the front. The spikes are not drilled deep enough, so we're going to have to use some spacer washers. So we're just going to go ahead and get the spacer washers put on each side of the axle here, and then you can just get your spikes just started. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this up. Don't forget we have a directional tire on here. So the tire's got to be directional. You'll keep the soles all on one side. And you'll just get these tightened up, and you're going to torque them down fairly well, fairly tight. And that's going to be the installation of your front tire there. And you can also use the locking washers that come up on here. They're actually going to fit in there that we don't have on here right now. As for tire pressure, you're going to want to air these up fairly slow, up to about 24 to 28 psi. Keep in mind that this is a smaller tire on a wide rim, so you might need to massage the tire down onto the wheel a little bit to get it to fit properly. This is going to be the installation of the stem here. You're going to go ahead and put a little bit of grease on the bottom tube here, slide that in, and go ahead and just cinch that down just a little bit to keep it from moving. From here, we're going to pull out the bolts. From here, once you get all these are actually a 6mm Allen that you're going to need. So we're going to just pull off the top. We're going to set the bars down on it. And you want to be very, very careful getting these things started. So you just take your time and make sure each bolt gets a good 3 to 4 turns in before you even think about tightening them down. So once you get all these started, you can go ahead and position the handlebars and cinch them up. Alright, moving on to the pedals here. This is going to be your right side pedal. There's an indication sticker that says an R, as well as on the end of the axle here. And on the right side drivetrain, you're going to go ahead and just turn it in righty-tighty on the right side here, and we'll wrap you up on the left here in a second. Alright, this is your left side. So on the left, you're actually going to move it counterclockwise, so you're turning left to tighten it. And you'll need a 15mm open-end wrench for here. So that's just a quick overview on getting some of the essentials done on it. The chain you might need to adjust a little bit. You're going to want a little bit of play in the chain. We highly do suggest taking your bike to a qualified bicycle mechanic to get assembled. In another video, we're going to focus on adjusting the 3-speed on here with some cable adjustment. They do come from the factory, semi-adjusted, but you will get some cable slack, so it will affect a little bit of the shift pattern there. As for the disc brake here, about every few rides for the next 20 miles, go ahead and get some rubbing alcohol and clean the rotor. That's going to help take the glazing off the brake pads, which are greatly going to increase your braking power. So figure after about a good 20 miles, your rear hydraulic disc brakes will really start to work well. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to give us a call. We got techs working here to help you out. 657-215-0099, and thanks for choosing Soul.